Show, everybody. My name is Conrad, and how are you, buddy? Just getting logged in here. Signing into the old iCloud. That's where I keep my notes. Today is May 16th, 2022, the year of our Lord, and what are we doing here? Two-factor authorization? What does that even mean? Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Yes, trust this browser. Okay, I think I've hacked into the matrix. So, yeah, we're live in Oklahoma. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening. As always, if you didn't get to listen live, you can listen anytime on iTunes or Spotify or, whatever other thing you use for this kind of garbage. And if you want to be a great listener, all you have to do is go to patreon.com and sign up for the show. It's $5 a month. You don't even have to sign up. You could subscribe on Patreon for free and get the free stuff there, as well as if you wanted to sign up, if you considered it's $5 a month and you get bonus shows. So, think about it. And maybe you got maybe there's a lot of people out there that's got an extra $5 every month rolling around. They just, they're burning it. Sometimes people will have extra money every month and they start burning it. And if that's you, consider, instead of burning it, consider sliding it over this way. And we're going to build this thing one brick at a time with your help. So if you don't know me, I'm Conrad. I've been doing podcasting since 2010. Back then, you could say almost anything. Back then, there was no rules on the internet. People were still trying to figure it out. So, although nobody listened to what I was saying back then, I was there saying it, and I was saying all of it too, whether it be a racial slur or a damn inappropriate thought. I've said it, so it's all out there. Some of it's harder to find from back then. I kind of have control of that, but it's on that Patreon, dog. And I've been kind of reluctant or dragging my feet, or maybe the fact that I got to work so damn hard doing other stuff that I haven't had time to put all that stuff on the Patreon. But with your support, I will then take off the other jobs and I will populate that Patreon with all those previous shows back in 2010. So, dude, I feel kind of stupid because I don't know. I guess I'd never really thought about it as far as how to make a brick. You know what I mean? I was just saying that, we're going to build this one brick at a time. I'd never really thought about how you actually construct a brick. I don't think that anybody ever has. You know what I mean? Like, aside from the one dude that was like, hey, we should figure out a different kind of product other than wood to build a home with. You know what I mean? That guy thought of it. He's about it. And so today, it's Monday, and we didn't sell any tacos today, and was kind of sitting at home. I was like, I don't want to. Let's go do something. So the wife and the kids and I took a little adventure, and we went to Sportsman Lake here in Oklahoma. It is about 30 minutes from where I live, and it is a lake that you can put a boat on, but you're not allowed to put Sea-Doos on. You know what I mean? You're not allowed. Everybody's doing it Sea-Doo, but not at Sportsman Lake. And nobody's doing it there. So we went and looked at that lake. There was a cool bridge there in Cove 3 that I stopped at, and my son and I walked over to that bridge, and we walked on like a little walking bridge, and we looked at the water, and then we walked back, and I told my wife, let's get out of here. Because I wasn't there. I'm more exploring. I just wanted to kind of see what it was. I hadn't seen it. I get like that where sometimes people talk about where they're at or lakes or, stuff, and I nod like people do. Oh, yeah, that sounds nice. But I've never seen it, and so I wanted to go see it. It's pretty close, so I wanted to go see it. There's another lake, Wowoka Lake, is nearby. So we drove over there and drove around that lake and looked at it and looked at the geography of it and stuff like that. And I just like to get a feel for it. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily a lake guy, but I can kind of feel myself transforming into that. But on the way from Sportsman Lake to Wowoka Lake, it took us through a factory of a little bricklaying outfit, a little brick building. They actually build bricks. This is where you construct a brick. And as we were driving by, I was thinking to myself, like, I guess up until this point, I had just assumed, that they just existed. You know what I mean? Like, you dug a hole, and then every once in a while when you're digging a hole, there is that little 6-inch by 3-inch by 2-inch brick that's in it, and you just pick it up and save them, and then you sell them. It never really, in this whole time I've been alive, it never really hit me that the reason that bricks exist is because somebody is crushing up a bunch of rocks and sticking them together to make that little, that little nasty Lego to build a house. So I seen it. I seen that this company does that, and I thought, oh, there you go. That guy did it. So it was good, though, to go to the lake. We didn't swim. We didn't dip our toes in the water. We didn't do anything but look at them. But, I got this idea that's floating around in my head about something that I want to do in the future, and it's kind of 4 or 5 ideas that are like almost like meteors or something that are coming in, and they just keep smashing into each other. So I keep adding to my idea, and it keeps smashing. But it's a few years. The taco truck's even part of it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's rolling, and we're doing tacoing. OK Taco Company in Oklahoma is out and about, and we're going to all these different towns and these underserved communities and serving our food, our Tex-Mex food to these people. But that was part of it, and that's part to build, a brand of our style of cooking, our flavors, our care in the product, to get people to trust that if they eat whatever we make, it's good, that kind of thing. And so that idea is in there, but there's these meteors of ideas that keep floating in, and they're lake related, I should say, So I got an idea, and I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to tell you what it is until it's done, much like the taco truck. And maybe that's stupid. People, I could have put a bunch of videos up of the problems and the struggles and the issues we had, starting with a 1977 RV, an Airstream RV, and turning it into a mobile kitchen in a state that I didn't live in an industry I'd never been in. So I'm sure that would have been compelling to tutorials for people that are wanting to do a similar thing. Yet I didn't do that. I just, I was focused on building it, and Shannon and I put that thing together and learned on the fly throughout it, and still are learning on the fly. And I'll do the same with this next project that's in my brain. I'll tackle all the obstacles that come at me once I find the right location, and then you guys will know what it is because everybody will know. It'll be everywhere. So it didn't need to have a video of how it got built. It just is. So that's what I'm thinking about. I just had a long conversation with my wife about it. It's funny when I fired her today, not in a bad way, but kind of. She's been helping out with the taco truck as far as scheduling or getting a hold of towns, because we're trying to go to all these towns and you got to clear it with the city hall of all these different towns, and she's helped out with that. And then we had a night, a couple months ago where I was talking to her about the show and the podcast and what I'm wanting out of it and my vision with how I see it growing, and I have ideas on how to do that, but they just take execution, whether it be cutting clips from the show and posting them on the various social medias, or all kinds of different things, reaching out to other shows to see if we can get a guest spot on them, all these things. And I'm not going to say she dropped the ball on any of them, but sometimes I forget that even though I've been in this world since 2010 and she's been supportive and enjoyed it, for the most part, the evolution of myself and the evolution of the different shows that we do, she's listened and likes to listen. And so she's a fan of it, in addition to them being like, how can I help grow your dream of doing this thing? And the reason I didn't want, or the reason I made the choice today to be like, cut it out, is once you start assigning things to do and attaching responsibility to certain things, you start it inherently, I think that's the right word, brings a sense of responsibility, or there could be repercussions now. You know what I mean? It transforms itself from, I just shared your show, to, hey, babe, did you make a cut today? Or did you do I don't want to have this feeling of the reason things aren't performing the way that I feel like they should perform is because of somebody else. You know what I mean? And then especially if it's my wife or Shannon or any, you know what I mean? If I want the thing to be what I want it to be, I need to do it. And if I was to have somebody, do it for me, I need to have the ability to go to that person and say, you're not doing it right. And that's tough to do if it's your wife. You know what I mean? That's tough to do if it's your cousin. That's tough to do if it's any of that stuff. So I fired her. I said, I love you. I'm not mad at you. I love what you're doing, but I want to be able to come in. If I get to a position of somebody's going to do that kind of stuff for me, I want to be able to have the ability to adjust it. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't what I want, or you need to be doing more. I think you can do more. You know what I mean? And so, anyways, I also don't want the part when it fails, inevitably when it fails, this project, this idea, this dream of mine to do a show, and I haven't given up on it in the past 12 years, so I can't imagine giving up on it, moving forward. I put too much damn time in it, and I care too much about it. But, if it never worked out the way that not even the way that I wanted, because I know nothing ever works out the way that you want it to work out. It works out it starts there, and then you push, and shit happens at the end of it. And if that shit isn't happening at the end of it in a good way, whether or not it's the way we wanted, I didn't want to have that feeling or have her have that feeling of, could she have done more? Could she have done it better? Or it's her fault. It shouldn't matter. So I just told her today, I was like, I want you to have your own dream about whatever it is. And, because we love each other so much, it is a sweet thing that there's a part of it that her dream is that I get to where I want to get with this thing. You know what I mean? That is part of her dream. She didn't say that, but I know that it is, because she cares a lot about it too. So, but at the same time, I don't want the part of, the reason that she's so stressed out is because she's doing something for my dream. The reason that, she wants to go to sleep is because she's tired because she did something for my dream. You know what I mean? I should be the one that feels that way because it's my thing. I want her to, if you're going to be stressed out and frazzled or, confused or tired of talking to somebody, you should be doing it for yourself then. You know what I mean? So, I haven't told Shannon yet, but I told her, I was like, I don't even want you really calling the towns, fuck that. That's our thing. You don't have to do that for us. And I don't like it that you get, you spend all day on the phone talking to a city hall where that conversation with me would have taken about 2 minutes when I said, hey, this is what we're doing. We're trying to come serve all these communities that don't have any food options, and we just want to come see everybody in every town and spread our taco joy to everybody. When I get matched with somebody on the other end of the line from some city hall, I would just say, all right, then I won't come to your fucking town. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. And my wife, though, she thinks, well, I'll try to massage this person or deal with them or talk to the higher up or whatever. But I cut it off instantly. If you guys don't want somebody to come work for you and serve your community, something that they have never had, and you want to charge me or you want to charge me a ridiculous fee and say I can't park anywhere in the city, I ain't going to do it for you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there that aren't willing to work, that can work, and you got somebody calling your town saying, I'm willing to do this for you and your community for free. I'm driving there. I'm spending the $5 a gallon. I'm driving there. I'm busting my ass. I'm sweating. I'm getting all the stuff ready and fresh and good, and I'm serving your community just because I said I would. And you still got a problem with it and want to fleece me? No, that ain't happening. So she's been dealing with that side of it, and it's like, Shannon should be doing that. He was doing it before she did, and he can do it. As frustrating as it is, because it is. Or I'll do it if he doesn't want to. You know what I mean? But it's not about wanting, it's that it has to happen. So anyways, I don't think it was a bad, it's always not fun, but it's just not, I don't like to be like, hey, what do you got going on today? It's like, oh, I was going to do this for you. And it's like, because there's part of it, it's like, I don't want you to have that if you're, anyways. So there's been some good, productive conversations that have happened today, but that's what's going on. This is my vision. This is my dream. This is my thing. And to burden anybody else with it and the responsibility of making it be successful is unfair if you're not paying them. You know what I mean? And I really wouldn't give a shit if my wife never worked for the rest of her life and always got to reap the benefits of anything, whether it be, I don't care. I hope she does. You know what I mean? So I don't have that chip where I want her to not have to do it. I get mad when I feel like I've stressed her out at myself. I don't tell her that, but I get mad at myself that she's stressed out about something a project she's doing for us, me and Shannon, or the show, or whatever it is. So anyways, I guess we'll take a break from that. So I did have a good day, though. Going to the lake is interesting on a Monday. And it's early. It's not quite lake season, but that don't stop some people from Oklahoma to go to the lake. And so when we went down to Sportsman Lake, I noticed that there was a swimming area. It was clearly labeled, this is where you swim. The rest of the lake, unswimmable. It even had a danger sign. Like, there's nobody here. I do get this, tuck my hair into my hat and walk on inside kind of thing. I do get that kind of vibe sometimes when I go to these places. It's like, this is owned by the city. It's like, fuck off. I mean, it's a lake, dude. It was here before the city was here, and it will be here when you guys all fuck everything up so bad that you go out of business, as a city. So screw your rules, but, and I don't mind paying or whatever it is. It's not that. It's just, hey, don't do this. Don't do this. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. I'll do what I want. It's a lake, But there is a designated swimming area, and I get it if it's an active lake and there's hundreds of boats and sea-doos and whatever, but when it's like there's nobody here, swim where you want. Use your brain on both. Don't let the government be your brain. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a lot of activity going on in this lake and there's a chance that you could be hit by a goddamn boogie boarder or something, don't swim there. But if there's nothing going on, swim wherever you want. I mean, that should be common sense, but yet there's a warning label on a damn lake, So by the swimming area, though, I did notice that there was some real rambunctious types over there, family of rambunctious people that were over there. And they caught my attention because we were walking across that bridge over the water and said, oh, there's a swimming area, bud. That's where we could swim. I was talking to my son, and, there is a kind of woman that is, like, you've seen them on Instagram or on TikTok, right, that are, they're not from the middle. I talked about that on the show yesterday, the middle. I'm from the middle. I'm not talking necessarily geography or location of the United States where I am in the middle, but I'm just saying if you're from the middle, things are weird to you, So when you look on the Instagram and you see these bikini models that are by a infinity pool in California or something, you're like, that seems like a waste. You're not even swimming. You're just wearing swimwear and walking by water. You're not. That doesn't happen in Oklahoma, dude. If you got water, people want to get wet with it. And lakes are a lot of water, so this family of ne'er-do-wells wanted to go get wet. And there's a certain amount of courage or bravery or something that it takes to put on a bikini as a woman. You know what I mean? And then there's also an additional amount to then swim in that bikini. And if you're in a controlled environment like a pool, sometimes that's a little bit easier, but it's still a lot of courage. Like you're basically naked, and you decided to wear this nothing. But when you do it at a lake in May in Oklahoma, there was a woman wearing a thong. I think it's called a thong bikini. A thong style bikini bottom is what this woman was wearing. To have the courage to do that, the confidence and the courage to do that in sand, and not like Pacific Ocean sand. We're talking about Lincoln County, Oklahoma sand. Seminole County, Oklahoma sand. You're going to put your butt in some damn Seminole County sand in a thong and then rinse it off in this lake. Whew. That is, that is some crazy, that's some Rocky Balboa type of courage. To watch this woman, she was frolicking within the swimming area. We were on the bridge, and she had a couple children with her. Every Oklahoma woman has at least 2 or 3 children attached to them in some facet. Don't know if it's theirs. Usually, it's a mixture of, this little fucker here is from Kevin. This little sumbitch right over here is from Jay. Then I got this little butthead over here. That's a one-night stand. But a woman from Oklahoma will have all 3 of these around them at all times, orbiting them. And so she had her litter around her, and she exited the water. Beautiful woman. I mean, I didn't get up close. Could have had like a bad face. Could have had a druggy face. Methamphetamines could have infested her face or something. But from the distance, from the bridge, exited the water like Bo Derek, dude. Looking great. And I thought, oh my gosh, she's naked. And then she wasn't. She was in a bikini. So I took my hand off my son's eyes and said, it's fine. That's allowed, And she exited like Bo Derek. And I thought, wow, that's a bold choice for this time of year to wear a thong here. But she did. The other people that she was with that weren't her children didn't seem to notice, didn't seem to mind, thought it was completely normal. But the part that I thought was dangerous was then when she exited the water, she turned to look at her litter of kids as they were frolicking, and she sat down in the sand, and I thought, that is, that's a lot of sand in your asshole. You don't want to sit down in sand. Not on this beach. This isn't the soft sands of California, baby. This isn't the beautiful beaches of Hawaii. This is a lake. That's a lake thong. You can't do that. But she did. And it was incredible. So I took a couple pictures and, wrote my Instagram down on the damn, bridge in case she stumbled by. But I thought it was brave and dangerous. Maybe that's the same thing. Sometimes anybody that does something brave has got a little hint of danger in there too. So, but that's happening not only there. We went to, like I said, we went from Sportsman Lake to Wowoka Lake, and there was a swimming area there where people were fine. I mean, they were wearing their lake bikinis, and they were just Ruth Langmoreing it up out there in the water. They were just getting after it. And so that's cool, it's good to see, for people to be able to do that. So we wasted about, 50 gallons of gas. We were driving the Focus, so it wasn't too bad, but you got to be conscious of that shit now, dude, because gas prices are record-breaking. People keep talking about that garbage. And by the way, can I just say this? The record was whatever it was with gas prices, $4.50 a gallon or whatever it was last month. You know what I mean? Please stop when the gas prices tick up like they've been doing every day. Like if it was $4.55 or $5.55 or $6.83, whatever it is in your area, if the gas prices tick up 1 cent, we understand that that's a new record because it was already a record at $4.45. So don't get on breaking news and say gas prices have hit a new record. We know, dude, we're living it. You know, I just did it. I just blew a stranger to pay for this half tank of Focus gas, dude. So I get it. But don't tell me, oh, guess what? Breaking news is a new record. No shit, dude. It was a record when it was 3 cents lower. So anytime it goes up, I get it, dude. But they love saying that. I don't know if that's a Fox News thing or it's not just them, though. Everybody. I even watched a little bit of CNN the other day. I got my phone tricked me into watching CNN the other day. I typed in news and it went to CNN, and even they was talking about it. So everybody's talking about it on both sides of the aisle. So we put about half. We used about half a tank of gas driving around and looking at these lakes, but I think it's worth it. Even if that cost me $100, it was worth it to look at the lake bikinis and stuff. So when I got home last night, though, I will tell you this: there is when you have a 7-year-old daughter, it is wildly different than having a son. The late, great Adam Carolla used to say that having a son is like having an old cat, but having a daughter is like raising a hyena. You know, and he had twins that were the same age. That's how different they are. And I can confirm that, dude. So what happens is my daughter is basically a terrorist. She's a terrorist for my wife. She pushes every button. She pushes everything to the limit. She's dramatic. She is outspoken. She argues every single thing that my wife asks her to do or tells her to do. She pushes back on everything. But when I go back to Kansas, I bring them with me on the weekends to go. They go hang out with my in-laws and their grandparents, and we go take care of these properties that we mow and take care of to make money, you know. And but my daughter, I left. They stayed here this weekend because they had a couple birthday parties. So when I get home, she is a genius. You know what I mean? Like, we both get it. She's a manipulator. She's a genius. So if I get a bunch of text messages throughout the day saying how awful she's being, like she's picking at my son, she's picking at Jonah, she's picking at me, she's throwing a fit, she's screaming, she's yelling. My daughter's aware that my wife is sending those text messages. Like, she knows it somehow. And so if I pull up after being gone for 3 days, dude, that door will fly open. The front door will fly open, and my daughter will come running out and jump on me and be like, I missed you so much, Dad. And it ain't true at all. It is not true. But she's smart because she knows that I'm about to get an earful of what her behavior has been since I was gone, you know? And I think and my daughter's right, because it works every time, you know? She'll come out, jump on me, give me this huge hug. I love you. Give me a kiss. Okay. Then she'll go back in to watch her shows or whatever. My wife will look at it. She's been awful this week. She's been so bad. I'm like, she seems fine, you know. She seems great. And that's what a daughter will do. They're terrorists because they play one side against the other. They use love and emotion, and they use it as weapons. And as a 7-year-old, she's so sophisticated at it. So she's already put the grenade out. Like, my wife was getting ready to throw a grenade at Dad, a lit grenade, and my daughter ran out and extinguished it and then went back inside and knew that when I came inside, I wouldn't be mad at her, no matter what my wife said. And that's true. So, I wish that it wasn't like that, but it is. And my wife she was an only child. She doesn't understand that there is, sometimes, and I think maybe she did it too. She probably doesn't remember, but she does it now. Even as a wife, she has a way about her that is. She knows she's pushing the wrong button or whatever. She's usually pretty conscious about it, but I don't know. It's definitely a male-female thing, and I know that those genders, like, you're not allowed to say them anymore or whatever, but in our house right now, everybody's allowed to do whatever they want to do, but they're all a certain gender right now. And it's not that was chosen for them. God chose it. So they came out of mommy's oven like that. And so we just kind of tell them, you're a boy and you're a girl. And I know that's, I don't want to get canceled for that or anything, but I just said it because the doctor said it to me when the child was born. So, and girls are tougher, but in a funner way, I would say. Sometimes it's harder with a boy because they sometimes keep stuff locked up. So when something's bothering my son, I know it's bothering him, but he won't say it. You know what I mean? He'll just lock up on it because he's wanting to try to figure it out himself or whatever. Girls, my daughter, she didn't have to tell me because I've already heard her scream about it for the past 30 minutes, what's bothering her. Anytime anything bothers her, you know it. There's no harboring it. There's no, like, I had a stomach ache for 3 days. Not with a woman. My wife will text me the moment her stomach hurts. You know what I mean? She could wake up at 8:30 in the morning and, like, sit up out of bed and be like, ugh, like maybe burp, and then text me. I burped. I think I got acid reflux. Like, sometimes people just burp. So a son will lock that stuff up. And so sometimes that's difficult because you want to pull it out of them. And I think a girl gets like that sometimes, but not in my house. They don't get like that. They tell me, I was trimming my nails, and I trimmed one too close. My finger hurts. Like, okay. It'll grow back. That happens. So, anyways, it was good to get a welcome like that. I love still that they're at the age, my kids are at the age that they like me. I understand that changes for some people. And I'm sure it will. And I'm down with that change. I understand. So I take advantage of it as I can. Like, I get the big hug and I let it soak in right now. So one thing that I was thinking about, and I think I got it from Dawson's Creek, which is a TV show. Oh, before I get there, I got an idea for you guys. Excuse me. Our family has a microwave. I don't know if you guys have them. It's a terrifically convenient way to heat up food faster without having to turn your oven on. So I don't know if you got one, but look into it. They're called microwaves. And we have a microwave it's a Galaxy is what it is, the brand. So it's pretty good, I think. It was in the house that we bought in Kansas, 7 years ago, and we just kind of always loved it. It's a horrible microwave, to be totally honest with you. Like, it's too small. You can't fit a lot of stuff in it. It doesn't have any features that a modern microwave has, but something about an appliance that does its job, does exactly what it tells you it's going to do. Like, you almost respect it as a human. But, like, I get it that you can't, have metal inside you and you don't have a browning element, but I'm not getting rid of you till you're done. And these little fuckers will never die. This microwave won't die. So we were heating up some pizza before we went to the lake. My wife had made a homemade pizza the night before, and we were heating it up for lunch before we went on our adventure today. And I set it to 59 minutes. And I told my kids, don't touch it, because with this Galaxy brand of microwave, you could put something in it and hit start. So now you don't have to press any other button. You know what I mean? You don't have to press 2 minutes, 200. You can just put an item in there and hit start and then watch it tick down the 2 minutes that you wanted to heat it. And I said, let's do it this way, and we get 1 hour of microwave time for the entire year. You know what I mean? So it's like a countdown for it. And my son got a kick out of it. My daughter was immediately like, I want to fuck with it now. Can I set it to 38 minutes? Like, no, it's at 50. We have 1 hour. That's as much as a Galaxy microwave will let you heat something, And most of the stuff that we heat up in our microwave will not be. We've never once heated something for 1 hour straight. That would be insane, dude. Like, you would turn into, like, the Thing or something if you ate something that was in a microwave for an hour. That's so much radiation. So I just thought it would be fun to have a countdown clock and to see how long 1 hour of microwave time lasts a family of 4 or whatever. So anyways, that's a new thing that we're doing. But one of the things that I was thinking about after watching Dawson's Creek is there was this scene in that show. It was season 3, episode 4. It's the only show. It's the only episode I've watched so far. Still, talked about it a little bit last week. There was a football coach in there, and I got to thinking about him over the weekend in the sense that as a football coach, sometimes your team can be getting there. It's a very interesting job to be able to motivate somebody to do what they're there to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, there shouldn't have to be somebody, a coach of something, to explain to the people that are participating in a certain thing why they're there. But yet, some of the most amazing cinematic scenes we've ever seen are from coaches' speeches at halftime, like from Remember the Titans, or from Rudy, or from, there's legendary motivational halftime speeches or pregame speeches that coaches give to athletes to get them to be able to perform at a level that would win. And it's really strange that is the only line of work in which that exists. You know what I'm saying? That's really weird, because if you have a meeting at work, about hitting this month's numbers on sales or whatever it is, it's not going to come to you in a motivational form usually. You know what I mean? It's going to come to you from a manager sitting down his team and saying, here's where we're at, and this is where we'd like to be. And you got little strategies and ideas on how to get there. But it is so weird that there is this group of people, whether it be in the NFL or the NBA or the NHL or the WNBA or whatever, that even though they've trained for this all week, they practice it, they work it, they know exactly what they're supposed to do. In order to do it, it still requires somebody to, like, Bill Belichick to come in at halftime and flip over a fucking water cooler and be like, what the fuck are you guys doing out there? You're fucking it all up. We had a plan. Okay? Now, this second half, we're not going to come out there like that, all right? We're going to come out there and we're going to show up. You don't come to our field. You don't come to our house and you serve dinner, okay? We serve it. We tell you what's on the menu, okay? You come into our house, you better ask for seconds. You know, it's whatever they say. It's probably not dinner related, but I'm hungry. I thought that would be interesting if somebody started doing that for daily life. You know what I mean? Like a motivational speaker for daily stuff. Hey, yo, get off the couch. You're supposed to be taking a shower right now. You're supposed to be getting your body the cleanest body in the world. And you're sitting here on the couch watching Jeopardy? You're not even clean yet. You get in that shower and you use both soaps, shampoo and conditioner. And if maybe there's a third, body wash. Maybe it's an all-in-one. I don't even know what you got going on in there. But you need to go get yourself clean. Wait. You're laying here and you don't... Are you ready to perform your duties as a husband on your wife? You better harden up. You better get hard right now. Because you got to go do that. That should be the best sex. You better... You know what I mean? You could do it for almost anything, really. I don't know how applicable it is, logistics-wise, to have a motivational speaker live within your home, but it would be nice. It would be a good experiment, because the reason that coaches do this for athletes is there is something in our brain that does register that kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? No matter who you are. It does not matter. You could say I'm above it. You could say that don't get to me. That don't matter. I'm focused. I do my own thing. Whatever it is. You're wrong, dude. There's some dudes, that are terrific public speakers, terrific motivational speakers that will get you to run through a wall for them with just them saying some stuff, And it's funny that they're only utilized in something that doesn't even matter. They're only utilized in order to get an athlete to perform at their highest level in a sport that they're getting overpaid to do. And that's it. That's the only time we use these guys. We don't use them in our day-to-day life, where it actually could make a difference with your whatever, your love life, your family, your parenting, your cooking, whatever it is, your cleaning, you know what I mean? All those different things, like you threw your pants on the floor and you didn't go put them in the hamper. You need somebody in there to be like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? This is not a hamper. But it doesn't exist. The only place it exists is for sports, which ultimately don't matter. They're a distraction from the life that needed a motivational speaker. So I always, since I've watched Dawson's Creek, I've been thinking about that a lot, which that's what that show does. Season 3, episode 4 will get you thinking a lot about that kind of stuff, dude, especially if you're somebody from the middle like me. So when you're stuck in the middle, you start thinking about that kind of stuff. You got leg thongs on, dude. You think about, wouldn't it be nice to have I think his name is Eric Thomas. He's a motivational speaker. Wouldn't it be nice to have him chopping it up at my wife in the morning the way she makes eggs? You gonna serve that to your family? That better be the best egg you ever made. That kind of thing. So, I don't know. Consider adding that to your thought list. You know what I mean? If you got a list in your head like I do of things you want to think about for a little bit, consider adding that. That's a good thought to have, and you can kind of play around with it. So, I'll give you a few of those for time to time. If you want more of them, all you have to do is subscribe to my show. It's here on Podbean Live. You can watch us. I do stream this in the shed, and we do those guys from Wichita. That is live stream on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all those places. Just follow Con Radio on all of those places. Share the show. Help us grow. If you want to support the show, go to Patreon. You get access to a lot of stuff. You can do CBDs, Delta 8s, Delta 10s, Delta 12, whatever they got, Delta right now. You can do all that shit. We're doing COVID vaccines right now. It's a special on COVID vaccines. If you want to get your booster shot, we'll do that for you too. So it's $5 a month on Patreon, and we'll get you that booster, buddy. Get you up and date so you won't go to the hospital. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to me post-pandemic. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here at this shed studio. Thank you guys for having me. If you want to listen to more, I've told you the ways you can. Subscribe on iTunes and Spotify. Con Radio, just look for it. All of our different shows are on there. And with that being said, have an okay day, and don't let your meat loaf.
VH1. Rock.